Hey guys, welcome back to Purely Walking. It's me, Ellie again, and today I have a part 2 of my ultra viral video of 5 things that you should not do when you travel to this lovely Dominican Republic. So today, obviously, since you enjoyed that first video, I'm bringing you a part 2 of 5 more things that I think you should take into account when you travel to my lovely country. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing that I think that you should not do when traveling to Dominican Republic is that you shouldn't be afraid of leaving your all-inclusive resort and exploring the island beyond those limits. I mean, sometimes when you're traveling to like Caribbean countries or lesser developed countries, people might give you like frightening advice like don't leave your hotel, it may be dangerous, or maybe you don't even have an incentive to actually leave the hotel because it is a huge all-inclusive resort and spa with all the amenities in the world. But I mean, then you're not getting the real Dominican Republic. I mean, the hotels and the resorts are beautiful and you can enjoy very relaxing stays there. And if that's what you're looking for, hey, you do you. But I'm just saying, don't be afraid to explore beyond the walls of your hotel or wherever you're staying. Be confident in the fact that if you leave the hotel, you can find cute little cafes and you can explore town and you can see how Dominicans actually live in their day-to-day life, and you can actually get a feel for the Dominican Republic beyond just tourist amenities and the resort. I think you can definitely enrich your stay in the Dominican Republic if you are willing to head out, go out of your hotel, get out of the all-inclusives and enjoy actual Dominicans and where they actually do life and get a feel for the actual country. So you can explore other cities apart from obviously Punta Cana. You can explore Samaná, and I love Las Terrenas, for example. It's very bohemian. Also Cabarete is very popular. Or you can come down to Santo Domingo and get a feel for the colonial zone and the more edgy and metropolitan lifestyle. And obviously, there's also a really nice mountaintop town that I truly enjoy. I actually have videos on it, which is Constanza and also Jarabacoa. Those two are awesome if you want to get a different feeling for the Dominican Republic that you probably never even knew about. We actually have mountaintop villages and towns that are so beautiful, have really cold temperatures, and you can get a very cozy vibe, a cozy feel up in the mountains with beautiful views. So if you're looking to explore more than just a resort, I highly suggest. The next thing you should not do when traveling to Dominican Republic is to come over here without traveler's insurance. And it is unfortunate to talk about this, and I'm sure most of you travel with traveler's insurance, but if you ever do think about traveling without it, I highly suggest you don't, at least when visiting the DR, just because our public healthcare system is actually not that developed. I mean, we have wonderful, awesome doctors, don't get me wrong. Medical school here is truly legit. However, the infrastructure of like the hospitals and the materials they may need might not exactly be there when you go. So if you want to stay away from the lesser developed public healthcare system, you should get traveler's insurance that covers you in most private clinics. I think that in the unfortunate incident that you may need healthcare here in the Dominican Republic, it is a better bet to go with a private clinic rather than public, just because of the reasons I mentioned before. So I think it is very important to get your traveler's insurance, just because when you get that bill from that private clinic, you're gonna want somebody to cover that for you, okay? You really shouldn't want to do is eat the actual street food. I'm not talking about like a food truck establishment type place. Those are usually legit. I'm talking about the straight up weird little carts on the street that serve food just randomly. If you are not an experimented traveler, and obviously if you have not been here before in the Dominican Republic, I don't suggest you eat that type of food. I mean, we're not exactly in India where you see those, you know, kind of disgusting type of videos of like people serving food with like their hands and such. Here, Dominicans, I gotta say, are pretty hygienic on the most part, but that street food is really precarious just because it's out in the street. There's, you know, smoke from the cars that are wandering around, smoke from the environment. Insects may deposit themselves on that food. So if it's not like a legit place that you think is an actual company that has established a food truck location or a hamburger place, I don't suggest you eat that type of really informal, you know, food out in the street. Guys, let me just take a moment to remind you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I am super glad that we are almost making it to 12,000. 12,000 subscribers are already here on this platform, and I thank you all so much. And if you're not subscribed, let me give you a little push and go ahead and do so. It's completely free. You're helping your girl Ellie out over here. So if you enjoy content on Dominican Republic, which is what we do here, go ahead and subscribe. The next don't is don't get yourself worked up about punctuality here, okay? It is unfortunate, and I myself am a pretty punctual person, so I'm not gonna say that this is exactly a good thing, but it is a truth that here in the Dominican Republic, punctuality is not the forte of the land, okay? So most social gatherings, if they tell you to be there at 6 p.m., you can be there fashionably late, at least 20, even half an hour. So if you get there at 6:20, 6:30, nobody's gonna bat an eye. Everything's gonna be good to go and a-okay. So if you are actually there at 6 p.m., you're gonna be the weird one, you're gonna be the rare one, at least if you're dealing with Dominicans. I mean, if your social gathering is with other people that are not Dominican, you're not gonna feel that. But if it's with mostly Dominican people and it is a social gathering, I'm not talking about workplace type of things, I'm not talking corporate or anything like that. Most of the actual get-togethers and gatherings that are of a social nature, you're going to want to be fashionably late for those if you don't want to be the first one to show up and just wait for everybody else to get there. And the last thing you don't want to do when traveling to Dominican Republic is be totally afraid of taking out your cell phone on the street. I'm telling you this because there's a stigma among especially Dominican New Yorkers. They come over here and they're like, oh, I can't be taking out my cell phone on the street. Girl, boy, everybody that's hearing me, everybody here has a cell phone, okay? So you shouldn't be too afraid of taking out your cell phone if you need to make a call out in a sidewalk or on the street. Of course, hear me out on this, okay? It truly depends on where you are located. If you are in an established neighborhood, like an average middle to high-end neighborhood, you can make a phone call and be out in the street with your cell phone. That shouldn't be an issue at all. But if you are out on like a low-end neighborhood or a barrio or a very dangerous location, which there are dangerous locations here in the Dominican Republic, of course, you shouldn't take out anything that is deemed to be luxurious at all. Not even, you know, golden necklaces or anything luxurious that might call the attention of any burglars or smugglers or anything like that, because of course, those things exist here in the DR. But for the most part, if you are in Punta Cana, if you are out and about in the street in a high-end neighborhood or a normal established neighborhood, if you need to make a call or you need to call an Uber or something, you can go ahead and take out your cell phone because the odds are that you're going to be completely fine. And I tell you this from personal experience because I once had a family member come to my house here in the DR, and they were like, whoa, I just saw a girl with her cell phone on, she was calling and she was all good. And I'm like, yeah, that's because people do use their cell phones out here, you know what I mean? So a lot of people that have a long time, like a lot of years living in the US, have this perception of the DR as if it was, you know, the DR probably like back in the day, I guess, or something, where everything was more dangerous or whatever. But nowadays, if you want to use your cell phone, go ahead and do so and you should be fine. You see, this guy is talking on his cell phone right now. He has it in his arm. I'm not sure you can tell, but obviously I'm out on the street as well and I have my cell phone. But he's over there talking on loud, what do you call it, speaker, and he's with his cell phone, so everything's good. Well guys, those were 5 more things that you shouldn't do when you come to Dominican Republic. I hope you see my first video, which has more than 100,000 views at this point, and I'm so super excited about that. So if you want to go watch that, I'm gonna link it down below and in the cards as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.